Right, let's get back into this again then. Today's so far been a day of things that have gone wrong, so see what happens. Right, the last video I did on this was when this pump wouldn't fit, so I didn't know what the deal was there. So what I did was I rang up Demon Performance, who are the people that sold me this, and they sell these and apparently they fit them all the time into Mark 1s. And we had determined that the pump that I have, now the pump what's in here, about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, no more than that, in about 2012, I bought this whole unit from Ford. So I went to the Ford dealers near me and I gave them the registration to my car and I said I need the fuel pump. And they said they don't sell just the pumps, they don't sell just the pumps on their own. They only sell the whole lot, this whole thing. You saw it in the other video, the swirl pop, everything. And I have to buy that. And it cost me 400 and something pounds. And so I bought it, put it in here. But it turns out that it's a wrong pump. It's a pump for a standard Focus, 1.8 litre standard Focus. So that it's all wrong. That's the reason why this pump doesn't fit in. This pump would fit in the swirl pot for the, if it was the ordinary Mark 1 RS pump that was in here, it would have fitted straight in, no problem, because they're the same size. But because this is the wrong pump, it's for an ordinary 1.8 litre Focus, that's why I was having trouble fitting this in. I sent them a picture and they said, yeah, that's right, it's the wrong pump. So what I've got to do is I've got to take this one back out again and do a bit of chopping and a bit of grinding. Well, not grinding because it's plastic, but do a bit of chopping about, and hopefully I can get it to go in. But I don't think I'm going to be able to, because this is what's in the way. This here is what's in the way. But I need this to put the clip on, because if I cut too much of that, I don't think it may do. I might be lucky, you know. I may be lucky. I think I will be lucky. Yes, I'm going to be lucky. I don't need this. This isn't important. Oh, I may well be lucky then. But I have to have a closer look. I can't quite remember what it was like when I had it apart. So as far as I can remember, this bit here, where my thumb is, this is what was in the way, stopping it from going all the way in. So if I cut this off, cut all that off there, that should be okay then. Yeah. Right, let's hope then. Let's take all this apart again and then get into it, I suppose. I tell you what, I'm not looking forward to it. I can't stand this sort of work, doing this sort of stuff. Oh mate, I can't stand it. I really don't like it. I mean, I hate working on cars. I'm not miserable. I just don't like working on it. I don't like doing stuff. I like the result. The only reason I'm doing it is for the result. Plus, I don't like paying people to do work for me. If I can do it, then I'll do it. But I don't like it. I really don't. Right, so I need to get rid of all this because it's all in the way. So I need to. What are they? Yeah, so get rid of it. Bloody hell. Typical. Yeah, today's been a bit of a funny day. Well, the day hasn't. The morning was alright, but the minute I come home, it's everything, because I've got a big mess in here and I lose everything all the time. And then I walk along and trip up stuff and stuff breaks and bloody. The minute I get home from work, there's a big mess everywhere indoors, so I have to clean all that up. You know, it's not the most inviting process coming home, and then I come home to everything being in the way and breaking. It's not very motivational, I tell you that now. But my whole motivation is to finally get this pump in today. Now this afternoon. That's my motivation, because it's been so long now, and I want this car to work. So that's my motivation. Right then, let's get rid of that. And get rid of this sender unit because I don't want to break it, so I'm going to get rid of that. Right, there we go. Now, where's the... Am I pushing on the wrong side again? Am I pushing on the wrong side again? Maybe I am. Last time I pushed on the wrong side. Oh yeah, I was pushing on the wrong side. God, bloody hell. I've done that last time as well. Right, so now that's that way out of the way. I don't need to do any modifying to this apart from when I wire it up. The only modifications I need to do is here. Apparently on the Mark 1 RS standard pump, the one that comes in it stock, this is all blue. But because it's all black, that means it's one out of a ordinary 1.8 litre Focus. And the fact that it's smaller as well and it says B6 on it apparently means that that's what it is. Now the trouble is, this may well be, I mean you lot will all know, and some of you have commented on the reasons why you think it is, but on a cold start in particular, I've always had a misfire, haven't I? Misfire for a while on a cold start, and it's never been very reliable on power and all that. It always runs a bit lean. This is going to be the reason why, probably. These people at Demon Performance reckon it's the reason why, because this pump will only be about 150 litres per hour maximum, whereas the standard pump, the stock one that comes in it, is 255 litres per hour. Don't know what PSI that is, but this pump will be under supplying the engine massively. It needs a lot more fuel, and that's probably why I've got all the misfiring problems and all them kind of problems. So well, I'm hoping that is, and they seem to reckon it was as well. They said, well, that pump won't supply nowhere near enough fuel for it to run as it should do. So hopefully that is right, and I can get this new one in, which is 265, so it's only 10 litres per hour more than the standard pump, but they're supposed to be more stronger, they're supposed to be more manly, do you know what I mean? They're supposed to be a bit better. So I'm going to have to go and get myself another screwdriver so I can prise this apart, I think. I know, I've got most of it. Should have 2 screwdrivers to do this really. But I've been in here so many times now. But the thing is, this is all wrong. This isn't the right one apparently. It's you know, it's different to the one that should be on it. That's the reason why I'm having trouble fitting this new pump in. I can't believe half you didn't spot this. Some of you lot that watch these videos reckon you're the nuts, don't you? Some of you lot reckon you know everything. How come you didn't spot that in the other video? Alright, this is part 1 of the battle done then. Probably this is the bit that was stopping me. You see, I was hesitant. I could have chopped and changed this to start with, but I was hesitant to do that because they said that it was a direct fit, right? I thought, well, if it's a direct fit and it ain't a direct fit, then I'm a bit annoyed, and I want to find out why it's not a direct fit. You know, why they said it was, but it wasn't. And we found out that it's because this whole unit here that I bought is not for a Mark 1 RS. It's for a standard 1.8 Focus, and it's different, right? This is different apparently to what it is if it was the proper one that's meant to be in here. So then they said to me, you know, because I said, what happens if I start cutting this pump apart, like what I've had to do? You'll see that I've had to use the hot knife, and I've had to butcher it a little bit, because a hot knife's the only thing I had small enough. I've had to butcher the top of the pump to try and get that pipe there to clear. So I've had to melt it around a little bit. I just used the old soldering iron with the hot knife on the end of it to melt it away. So that's what I've had to do. I said, if I start cutting the pump up and the pump happens to be 40 after all this work, will you still take it back even though I've started cutting it up? And they said they wouldn't, but they, you know, I don't know, what can I do, man? So this is what I've done. It all fits on there now. I've added the 2 washers that they supplied and said, you know, it's best to put them on there because it makes a better seal. So I've done that with a bit of grease. So that's all in there now, that's done up. So that should be fine. The next battle is to do the wiring. So what I'm going to do, this is the standard wiring for the standard pump. So all I'm going to do is cut that connector off, solder the wires together. Bob's your uncle, job done. Right, a long time later, because everything goes wrong, I've done it. We're soldered together. I've cable tied them solder joints like that so that they shouldn't move. I don't trust solder joints really. It's not that, it's just the fact I can't solder. I just bloody well can't do it. I mean, I've done it for a long time, but I still can't do it. Never really works. And if it was just a joint, like if I was doing something for a bit of CB radio or something, and I could get to it easy, but the fact that it's going to go inside the tank, then the tank's going to go back on the car. So if the pump stops working because one of these connections comes loose or off or whatever, that means I've got to take the tank off the car again, the pump out. So, you know, I've cable tied them together and they should be alright. They did say to me that sometimes the red wire actually goes to the earth, but I mean, I don't know. I've done it red to red and black to black, so let's hope that's the way that it actually works. I won't know until I put it in the car. I could run some power to it, but man, I didn't want to do this bloody job to start with, so let's just get this done, shall we? Let's get that back in there, and then, let's get going. What a bloody nightmare. Right, anyway, there's the old fuel lines. There's the new ones. So, this is the old one. I don't know where that went, actually, to tell you the truth. Oh, I know that went off the filter. So these are the old ones that went before, that went on top of the tank. So I've got some new genuine Ford ones. They cost me 150 bloody quid for these lines. That's that one that goes there. This one is this red one here. Let's just check. Well, it's not really the same shape, is it? Contents made in France. It's made in bloody France. Well, I thought it would have a new one of them. That's obviously supposed to go in the tank, is it? So alright then, let's take that off of there then. I hope this is the same bloody one for 150 quid for a couple of lines. They don't look the same, do they? Or do they? I think they do. I've got that facing up like that. They're different. That one's a bit longer. Oh well. Never mind. Let's put it on. Well, it don't fit very well. That's not a good sign. What's this one like? Right, this is this one. It's on there like that. Take that off of there. Apparently that's meant to not be on there. So, that face is like that. This is more like it. You see, these ones are the same. That comes up there like that. That curves around. They're the same. They're the same shape. So these ones should be. This one should be good. But that bloody red one is a different bloody shape. Right. This is the next thing that's gone wrong. Everything goes wrong when I try and do something simple. When I bought these lines, one of the reasons I bought them, I know the other ones had a bit of a kink in them, but it weren't the end of the world. One of the reasons I bought them was because on the old ones, this little basket thing, what goes in the hole, was broken, right? So I thought, well, I'll just get new lines, that'll solve all the problems, but they don't come with a new basket thing, do they, right? So now I can't fit this line, this one here, because I haven't got a little basket thing. This one's broken, and I know it's broken. It's been broken for a long time. It didn't leak, but that's not the point. While I'm doing all this, I might as well do it properly. So because Ford are stupid and they don't include everything you need, you know, you'd think when you get a line you'd get the new little basket to put on it, you know, it comes with that, but no it doesn't. So that's that. So I can't fit that. So now it's going to be another week or two before I can even put this back in here, because I can't get down to the shop. Too many other things to be doing. So if this video ends here, then the video ends here, but if it doesn't, you know that I found something else to do instead. Right, back here again, and it's taken me far too long, bit of dust, far too long to do all of this, and it's well, it's not needed, is it? I'm not sure what I've done with the footage that I filmed prior to this bit, so this may be a bit cock-handed kind of thing. What's that? That's that one, so that's the old one, I don't need that one. Now let's have a look what we got here. It's got oil on it. This looks like the new one. Oh yes, this is the old one because it's dirty, so I don't need that. That's the new red one. This must be the old red one, so I don't need that. So this is the new one that's supposed to go in there. The trouble that I've had, I don't know whether I've already said this, but I'll say it again, I haven't been able to get these little, this is what I need. This thing is what I need. It's like a little basket shaped thing. I've been all over the place. I've been to Ford's. They want me to buy a whole new one of these, whole new unit for £400. I've managed to find a place, my local place that I always go to. They can get me a whole new one of these without the pump in it, for £100. But it's still £100 that I don't need to spend. I've got a brand new one of these with a brand new pump in it. All I need is literally this. That is all I need. And I'm not going to pay £100 just to get this off of it, and then I could probably sell that, but it'd be missing a part, and I'm not going to get a lot for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the old bodge it and leg it that I usually do. I didn't want to do that because I've got a brand new pump, got brand new fuel lines, everything's brand new, and you know it wouldn't be so bad if there was a hole in the car where you could just, some cars you lift up the back seats and there's a hole, and then there's a big hole like this here, and you can get straight to this. You have to take the tank down. But because if this leaks, I've got to then take the tank down again, and it's an hour's work and all this rubbish. That's why I was reluctant to bodge anything up. Having said that, I'm not going to spend £100 just to get what I need, and so I'm going to bodge it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here like this, like it's supposed to go on. I think it's meant to go that way. I'm not sure. That way. I think it's that way it's supposed to go. So I'm going to put that on there like that. Then I'm going to get the old trusted, what have we got? Where's it gone? The old trusted Gorilla Glue here. That's what I'm going to get. Get the old Gorilla Glue out, and I'm just going to glue the hell out of it. I'm going to literally put glue all around. I'm going to put glue everywhere. It will be a pain in the ass if I ever need to take it off in the future, but let's face it, if I have to take it off in the future, I'll just pay £100 and get a whole new top. But I don't plan on doing that. Everything should be handy dandy. And let's be honest, all I got to do is unclip this end, you know, and then I can just take it apart with that connected. That's not going to be the end of the world. I can still do that. So that's what I'll end up doing. So I'm just going to glue that in there. And I'm hoping if I can put glue in every single little hole and every single little crack, it shouldn't leak. So yeah, I'm probably going to get a bit of stick on it, but you know what, I always get stick for everything that I do with this car, because you know, it's an RS, you know, you shouldn't be bodging it up, do it the right way. Well, it's not always the way, my friends. You know, if you're rich, then do it like that. But when you ain't, you gotta make do with what you got, my friends, and that is Gorilla Glue. Sweet. When I've done it, I'll put a little bit of glue around there. Try and it's all around in the edge there, so it can't come out. And because it's pretty pushed in, that should seal in there, I hope. And yeah, the old Gorilla Glue. Hopefully we'll not sort it out. I offered it up under the car to make sure that this was going to be in the right position, because usually these can move, they can twist up and down. That's probably the idea of these. But if I'm gluing it in place, I'm not going to be able to move it, am I? It's going to stay in one position. So this is the position that it needs to be in. So that's where I've glued it, and if it doesn't work, I'll just have to buy a whole new one. But yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping it works. So now I've just got to wait an hour for this to set, and then I can put it back. On the plus side, I went and found my other gloves. I lost these gloves. I thought I left them somewhere, so I've been using my other ones. These ones are quite nice gloves. I like these ones. They're alright, them gloves. But I like these ones too, and I thought I'd lost them somewhere. I couldn't find them anywhere. It turns out they were just over there, parked up, you know, relaxing, chilling out. But I thought I'd lost them. I thought I'd left them somewhere where I went for a ride. I thought, oh man, I thought I'd gone and left them somewhere, but I didn't. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up and while I wait for this glue to set, I think. Not been started in God knows how many months. The last time I made a video on this. How many kicks do you reckon it's going to take to get it going? We'll find out. I'm not going to do any of the stupid priming methods a lot of people tend to do when they're pulling on the throttle and go, I'm priming it. That's what I'm doing. No, none of the leaning it over. Oh, I've got to lean it over to prime it. No, none of that. Turn the petrol on, no choke. Temperature outside is, I think it was 9 degrees if I remember rightly. It's pretty nippy. And we'll see what happens. If we can ever get the kickstart to stay out. Here we go. Pure bliss. Started on it weren't even a hard kick. I weren't expecting it to start. I thought it was just going to not start for a few kicks, and it went and started on the first little kick. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, sweet. Now what I noticed, I'd hung this chainsaw up the other day, and the oil was leaking out of it, so I had to move it, but it ain't been started in, oh, I don't know. Whenever the last video I made of this was the last time I bloody well started it, so that's in the, must be in the run position now then. And pull the old choke out. I'm not really expecting this to want to start, because they can be a bit temperamental with this type of carburetor sometimes, but we'll see how it goes. Very happy, was it? Didn't like that very much, did it? At least it's oiling though. Plenty of oil in there. At least it's oiling. Oh, there we go, it worked then. The old off switch weren't working. It doesn't sound very happy, but at least it's oiling. You can see there's plenty of oil going around on the chain and all that, so at least when I fix the old oiler, at least it's working still. It does leak a bit. I think there's oil coming out of it now. I think there's a bit too much oil going through, but I can always adjust that with a little screw later on. I didn't think it was going to start. I didn't think it was going to want to start, but it did. So I think it's just a bit spluttery because it's sat there for so long, and that petrol's probably not really much good anymore. Well, it's arguable. You know, some people argue that it goes bad. I argue that it doesn't, but who knows? Well, that's that then. Well, I'm sure this is a very familiar sight to a lot of you. I seem to be here doing this all the time, charging up blooming batteries. And the next hurdle, or whatever you want to call it, I put all the tank, well, I didn't put it all back on the car. I got the tank on the car, I plumbed it in, and what I wanted to do was, I wanted to make sure I've got the polarities right on the fuel pump, right? So I put a bit of petrol in the tank, and what I was going to do was turn the key so the pump would prime, and if I saw fuel coming out the feed line, I know I had the polarity around the right way. If the fuel come out the return line, I've got the polarities around the wrong way. I wanted to check that before I, you know, bolt the tank all the way up and get it all done. That's what I wanted to do. So I charged this battery up last week. It's brand spanking new battery, but the trouble is it never gets used, and I just want to do that and it's completely dead. So we're back in this situation again where we're charging it up again. This is a brand new battery, but I could take it back and then get another one, which I may still do. It's well within my rights to, because they don't, I just won't say it hasn't been used. The trouble with it is it sits on the car, it does never be used. It's still powering the alarm system, the tracker and the clock and everything else it has to power when the car's stationary. Every car has that kind of stuff. But because it never gets started up to be recharged, it just runs down flat. And then you get in a circle. What happens is when a battery goes down too low, and the voltages between all the plates get too low, it doesn't usually it can't usually come back, because it all starts to oxidize and all these kind of chemical reactions happen, because that's all a battery is. A battery is just a box full of chemical reactions. But anyway, that's enough of that. When I've got this on charge, I'm going to give it a proper full up charge. That's what I'm going to do. So while I've got this on charge, I've got this old battery here. It came out of the Discovery. It was still usable, but it was just getting a bit too low, and I didn't want to not trust it. I didn't quite trust it. I might be somewhere and it might not work. So I took that out ages ago, and I charged it up fully as a spare battery, and I'm hoping it's still got a charge in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down and get me jump leads, because this won't fit in the car, you see. So I'm going to go and get me jump leads, which are under here. Got me jump leads, good old Halford's jump leads, and gonna hook it up to this battery, hook the jump leads to the car. Hopefully we can get the pump to prime, and then we'll see what happens. Right, so using that battery and the jumper leads, it did work. I managed to get I got the pump to move. The pump worked. It was making a noise when you prime it. There wasn't enough power in the battery to actually turn the engine over to try and start it. Obviously it wouldn't start, but I wanted to turn it over to get the pump actually pumping, to see if any fuel would come out. But no petrol come out of either the return or the feed line. So what I've done for temporary measures until the battery's charged up is I've put the jack under the tank. I've hooked it all up basically. It's all plugged in, it's all plumbed in. I've got the filter plumbed in there as it should be, just so I can get to it. The return lines are plumbed in, and the little vents plumbed in as well. So all I'm doing now is waiting. I've got to wait about, I'm going to give it a good charge for a 12-hour charge, that battery, so, and then do that until it's charged up, and then we'll go from there. So I'm probably going to end this video here, because it's probably long enough as it is, and I did want to get it running in this video, but I don't think that's going to be possible. I'm going to have to wait another, how long has it been now? More than 2 weeks I've been doing this job, changing this pump. It's pretty ridiculous, and I don't know, you know, it's just stupid. But I'm going to end this now, and then there'll be another one when I get it running, or just picking up from where I've left off now. So there we go.